Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Mark Clemens Postcards. Myself and the postcard pups, Ellie and Lucy, say hello to you and welcome back. We are going to show you the contents of another album that we bought at an auction recently. If you recall, in our last video, we took a look at the first of 5 albums, and today we are going to look at the second. We're going to show you everything that was in there, so sit back and enjoy. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we ask you if you would please do that. We need all the subscribers we can get. And if you like this video, please give us a like. We would all appreciate it. This is album number 2, and I'm going to remove all the cards from it so I can show them to you. But before I do that, Lucy will perform a thorough inspection, and when she is done, she will turn the album over to me so I can take the cards out and show them to you. Okay, Lucy has completed her inspection of the album and reported back to me. She said it's now good to go. I can remove the cards and show them to you. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, let's look at some more cards. Let's see. First up we have a Rally Day card. Come next Sunday. Where have you been? We miss you. Another Rally Day card. Rally Day is next Sunday. There's some kids in a St. Bernard. Here is a comic card. A Sweetheart's Forbidden Fruit. You're a peach. Another kind of comical card says, we've been married 3 years. You've accomplished nothing. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. So guess he's accomplished something. Another comical card says Grandpa wouldn't come without it, and they are towing an outhouse behind their trailer. Another comic says my wife won't let me. There's a man at the church with his bride, but a woman with 3 children calling him Papa. So, come on guys, you could do better than that. Another comic, we're bearing you in mind right now. I've been having my ups and downs. There's a man on a teeter-totter, or teeter-totter, I guess. Romantic card, just to have you near me, as a man plays a banjo for a woman. I guess he's pretty good because he seems to be listening intently. Says, my honey, my heart's on fire, send me a kiss by wire. Another romance card, there's nothing slow about me. I guess, what's that mean? He moves too fast? I'm not sure. Here's a birthday greeting with a couple hands putting rings on each other's fingers. Birthday greetings. It's a lake scene with some flowers. Happy birthday, one of those heavy embossed ones with the airbrushing. Got some flowers and a couple doves on there. Easter greeting is a little chick sitting on a wagon holding an egg. Another Easter greeting, a chicken and egg. Easter greeting. Glad Easter, some chicks in bonnets. My Easter greeting, a happy Easter. This is a John Winch card, as you can see down there at the bottom. A toast to every year that's gone, so I guess that would be like a New Year's card, perhaps, or maybe a birthday card. Best Christmas wishes with a country scene. Here is Merry Christmas. Got some kids sled riding. On Christmas Day, another country scene. Joyous Yuletide. Here is a hobo saying, I'm traveling most of the time. I'll bet he is. Another comical card. Don't see how I'll be able to get over. Best wishes. Peace be thy portion. Friend of my heart. Christmas greetings. Flowers in a vase. What's this for? Thou art not forgot. So just kind of a general greeting card, I guess. Here's a portrait of a lady there in a frame, and it's has a name at the bottom. Around the bottom of the frame, I don't know if you can see that, it says Clara Kimball Young. So I don't know. Is that an actual person? Is that the artist? I'm not sure. Just a pretty lady there. Here we have near your home, where as children we've we've strayed. So I guess that's just a romantic card. You can see the couple there, and I guess that's a wedding or engagement ring they're framed in. Here's a religious card. It says triumphal entry. This is Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Down here it says 1 of 35. So I'm guessing there's a series of 35 cards. This is the first I've ever seen of this series as far as I know. Here's a double view card. It says Ferry Depot in San Francisco and Royal Arches in Yosemite Valley, California. Birthday greetings. Rural scene. Old Lang Syne. Hearty greetings. Birdhouse. Here we have a young boy on the steps. It says Hearty Christmas greeting. That's a pretty one. Has a little bit of a crease corner down here. I greet you with some flowers. Joy and happiness on Christmas Day. Let's see. But I love thee. And some pretty purple flowers there. Here's a pretty one. It says Happy New Year. We have a little cherub there and a pocket watch. Has a nice gel finish. You can see how shiny that finish is. And the gel finish is pretty intact. Just see one faint crease down there. Pretty nice shape. Cornflower. There is a flower whose modest eye is turned with looks of light and love. So this is a cornflower, I guess. Thanksgiving greetings. That one's a little beat up in the corners. Here's the old cabin, Shenley Park in Pittsburgh. Easter greeting. There's a pretty one. A little girl with a bunch of eggs in her dress. Christmas. Best good wishes on Christmas. Your birthday. Flowers in a country scene. Happy New Year. Joyous New Year. To my Valentine. They are, if hearts were like fish to be caught with a line, perhaps might catch a dear Valentine. So they're fishing with hearts for Valentines. That's a pretty card. Another Valentine greetings. A boy outside, I guess. A little girl in the window. Here's another one similar to that. Little boy giving flowers to a little girl in the window. To my Valentine. Here we have just a wagon of flowers and some doves. Hey, happy Christmas. There's a pretty lady there and a pine branch. The dial of the year must be like New Year's card, I guess. A very Merry Christmas. That's a pretty one. A woman on a bench feeding a squirrel. Got some gifts there. And what's this one? Easter greeting. Got a little chick and a cross there. Let me grab another handful. Meanwhile, I could talk amongst yourselves. All right, here's another handful. A happy Easter. That's a pretty colorful one with an egg with some flowers. Easter greetings. Pretty lady there. Looks like she has a tennis racket. May Easter bring you the singing heart of joy. There's some altar boys there singing. Happy Easter. Love to all. Good wishes for a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Bright, pretty flowers and a really bright gel finish on that one. Birthday greetings, a vase full of flowers. Come join us. Some young people around looks like some corn stalks there. Land of the longleaf pine. That would be North Carolina, I believe. Yes, there's a North Carolina flag up there. Happy Easter to you. Some chicks in a boat. Got some eggs there. Happy our Easter greetings. Here we have some dressed chicks dancing around. This maybe is the mother, and here's the younger chicks. So that would be what we call anthropomorphic, animals doing human things. Also would fall under fantasy. Hearty Easter greetings. There's some bunnies there. Easter greetings. There's a bear, got a basket full of eggs, and a rooster there checking out what he's doing. I don't know if he's planning on eating those eggs or not. Probably. Another joyful Easter. There's a couple chicks in the windows and another one sitting on a basket of colorful eggs. Wishing you bright and happy Easter. There's some chicks and some sheep. And a boy feeding some chicks there. And a woman feeding the sheep. Easter greetings. Pretty little girl with a basket of eggs and a bunny rabbit. Easter greetings. This one is heavily embossed. These rabbits have a silky texture to them. And you can see there's also airbrushing on there. Another one like that, Easter gladness. We have a rabbit. He's got the silky texture to him. He's carrying a couple baskets of eggs there, walking with the cane. And it's also got it's heavily embossed, got airbrushing on it. Loving Easter greetings. A bunch of chicks hatching out of eggs. Health and happiness, pretty lady surrounded by some flowers. Hearty greetings, a ship of flowers. The language of flowers. With best thoughts. Another heavy embossed one, silky flower. And a bird, an airbrushing on that one. Here's a little girl holding some watermelon. Down at the bottom it says, wow, it's hard to read. Can't read it, need a magnifying glass, sorry. But you can see a little girl with the watermelon. Here we have a gentleman or a young boy carrying a basket of vegetables. It says peasant boy at the bottom. Here we have some hunting dogs. Here it says forget me not. There's a bicycle of flowers. Christmas greetings. Some choir boys there singing. My love to you. That good old summertime. Some people raking and baling hay there. in dresses. I would say that's probably not the best thing to wear if you're going to be working like that, but whatever. Valentine greetings, little boy and a little girl. Kind thoughts and wishes with some pretty flowers. Joyous Easter greetings, got some chicks and a rabbit walking on his hind legs and some people with presents. Another one of the sunbonnet kids. This one, the title is November, hard to read on there. Here we have bathing. We have child in the bathtub, splashing water all over the place. Just some flowers, some pretty purple violet flowers. Here we have a dog framed in some flowers. Says just a note. Basket of flowers on the table. Rail birds. Here we have a couple lovely ladies sitting on a fence. Have a gentleman in the background with a gun. I guess he's hunting. And they are observing. But they are not the birds he is after, I guess. Easter blessings, little girl and a bunny. Bright and happy Easter. Flowers and a cross. Best wishes with a Bible verse on there. A happy Christmas day. This is a telegram. Best wishes and happy birthday. Here's a pretty one. To my Valentine. We have a Cupid blowing a trumpet there. It goes his quiver with arrows and a big heart. That's a colorful card. Another pretty one. To my Valentine. There's a lovely young lady and a bunch of cupids and some hearts and flowers. Nice colors on that one as well. It's a nice shape. Uncle Sam has brought Valentine's galore. So you can see a mailbag there overflowing with Valentines. Here is a mountain scene and a waterfall. Doesn't say where that is. It's kind of a generic view. And lastly, I got a tree by a lake. That's all for that batch. Okay, let's look at some more. Here we have a peaceful Easter be thine. This is kind of humorous. Says this is a pretty little spot, but there's a gentleman getting splashed by a mud puddle from a passing wagon. Merry may your Christmas be. Some kids and a mom decorating a Christmas tree. Christmas gifts. Again, got a tree. Christmas tree with lots of decorations and some things under it. Jolly Christmas is Santa's wish for you. Kids building a snowman. Just a card with some flowers on it. Doesn't say anything else. Happy New Year. Says a good story. At the bottom it says Dendy Sadler Tate Gallery. So I don't really know what's going on there. My Valentine, love me, love my dog. Yeah, there you go. You love me or love my dog. Otherwise, hit the road. My dear Valentine, gee, I like to furnish a flat for you. Some odd phrasing on old postcards. Peaceful, happy Easter. There's an angel there with a harp. Here's a romantic couple holding hands. Got some gold gilding on that card. It doesn't say anything else. Not posted. Greetings at Easter. Will you be my Valentine? He's got a heart for exchange there. You could exchange hearts with that little fellow. Dear Valentine, Although I'm late, I'm willing to wait. Or something like that. To my Valentine, there's a couple under a tree, romantic couple. It's a pretty card with an embossed heart there. Valentine thoughts, little boy pursuing a girl there. Birthday greetings, hands holding hands and flowers or roses there. Birthday greetings, handing a card to another. Happy birthday with the holding hands and flowers. It says summer pleasures. There's a little sailboat out on the water. Best birthday wishes. Just kind of, I don't know. Got no title or anything on that. I see a couple in the foreground hugging there, and some people in the background. I don't, maybe that's a fisherman going off to sea or something like that. Wishes for a happy Christmas with a snowy scene. There's a Bible verse on that one. Got some soldiers down there. So maybe that is, good prayers and good thoughts for soldiers going to war. Here it says, with New Year's greetings. Some people, looks like they're going to church there. Best birthday wishes. Best wishes to you. Hearty Christmas greetings. To wish you a Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Birthday greetings. It's another one of those embossed with the airbrushing. Red rose with a little phrase down there at the bottom. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. A Valentine message with a little cute little girl there. Again, this one's a John Winch card. You may could see that down there. Is that focus on there? There we go. Joyous birthday greetings. A basket of flowers. Got some glitter on it. To my Valentine, a little boy sitting with his dachshunds. This is interesting. Dachshunds and pretzels and Cupid, you see. Bear from me this message, I dearly love thee. And it's got artist sign of Curtis down there. So, more interesting than at first glance. Easter greetings is some chicks hatching out of eggs. Birthday greetings with a red rose, or a pink and red rose. Christmas greetings with some holly. Here's a patriotic rally for service. Rally day. Bring your friends. I don't know. Is that like for military, or am I missing the point on that? I don't know. Anyway, rally day card. Sorry. Got off on a tangent. Love's Whispers. There's a cat in a hat smoking, not the cat in a hat, but a cat in a hat smoking a pipe. And Howard sent this. You can see he wrote on that. Howard, why'd you do that? Could have wrote on the back. That was posted in 1907. So that's interesting. A dressed cat. Merry Christmas. It was a rural scene. Some bells. Happy birthday. Basket of flower. Got some glitter on there again. Christmas wishes. A little boy sleeping with some toys. Christmas greetings. A rural scene. Happy returns of your birthday. Got glitter on there. I hate glitter. Some of it just fell off, as it always does. Makes a mess on my desk. Thanksgiving Day. There's some pilgrims. New Year greeting. Happy birthday. Christmas greetings. That one's a little hammered. Merry Christmas. There's a fireplace. Joyful Christmas with some holly. Joyful Christmas. Birthday greetings. Merry Christmas. That one's colorful. Merry Christmas. Another country scene there. Snowy country scene. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. This one's missing the corner there. Merry Christmas. A big bell and some purple flowers. Merry Christmas. Got some birds there and some holly. A country scene. Merry Christmas. A bunch of angels or cupids flying around there with some bells. That's an interesting one. Merry Christmas. With those poinsettias. And that one's also missing a corner, unfortunately. A joyful Yuletide. There's some deer out in a country scene. Birthday greetings. Good wishes and kind regards. Birthday greetings. It says, God bless Father and Mother. As you see, little children praying there. Just a card with some flowers on it. This one says Wild Rose with a little verse down there. Congratulations, a bird and some roses. Birthday wishes. Hearty greetings. My fancy. If you really love me, send me back this bow. I don't know. Was there supposed to be a bow attached to that? I don't know. Birthday greetings. Best wishes. There we have Christmas from this young lady down here, whoever she is, but she didn't write on the card, so I guess you had to know her. This one's embossed with some airbrushing. We'll never know who she is now. To my dear aunt. To my dear uncle. I know the very nicest boy. So this is a Valentine Day card. Here's another Valentine, a little boy sitting on a stump, waiting for his Valentine to show up, and she's back here. Won't he be surprised? To my Valentine, there we have a Cupid, and looking at a book or something. That's a pretty card. A greeting of affection, Valentine related. To my Valentine. My Valentine, Cupid with a heart. To my Valentine, and this was interesting. This one's die cut. This top part pops out, and the back folds down, so you could stand it up. It doesn't want to stand up, but you could do that. So that's an interesting Valentine. Here we have Valentine greetings. Another Valentine, loving greetings. Be my Valentine, a little girl there. And this last one, love to my Valentine. Okay, the last handful out of this album number 2. Here we have a water scene. It just says the Bayside up there, so I don't know the Bayside of where, I don't know. By the way, we had looked at all the greetings out of that album previously. I kind of separated them into greetings and town views. So this last stack is the town view cards. Here's the post office in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This says Cropthorne Hill. I assume this to be a foreign card, probably in England somewhere. Niagara Falls, highly sought after by collectors. Another view at Niagara Falls. Here's a scene in Washington, D.C., also very popular with collectors at Washington, D.C. Here we have 50 years of progress in Burlington locomotives. So it's an interesting railroad card. Here's a Masonic home in St. Louis, Missouri. St. Stephen's Church in Oil City, Pennsylvania. Broadway North from Olive Street in St. Louis, Missouri. Another view in St. Louis. This is Franklin Avenue looking west from 7th Street. Some interesting old views of St. Louis. I'm sure it doesn't look like that anymore. Another highly sought after Niagara Falls card. Here we have the old Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, PA. This is an old one, 1905, but not in really good shape. Got scuffs and creases and smears and stains. Now this is an interesting card. At first glance here, it's like, yeah, that's not interesting. But reading the back, we see that this is the Eagle's Nest, which was Hitler's retreat, so to speak. It says, Martin Bormann, assisted by 3,000 workmen, built the mile-high Eagle's Nest as a birthday present for Hitler after the Fuhrer became tired of the lower altitude of his official Alpine residence, the Berghof. Before the Eagle's Nest was captured in 1945, Hitler managed to visit it only 5 times. So that's an interesting card. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't taken the time to read the back. I don't know how what eBay might think of that. They might not permit me to put that on there. I don't know. Here is another view, probably in Germany. I can't read German, but you can see that. This says Ruin Frankenstein. So maybe that's I'm not sure. I'll have to maybe do some research on that. It is in Germany, obviously. Here's a view. What does the back say? Royal Lake, one of the most beautiful of all German lakes. This is the cable car to something. I can't read that word. Again, German view. Here is the Eagle's Nest again. Eagle's Nest overlooks Hitler's native land, Austria, and his adopted land, Germany, from its mile-high perch. So, another view of Hitler's hideout there. Germany's second highest mountain, the Watzmann. Okay, so another view in Germany. Another German card. Berchtesgaden with Watzmann Mountain. Excuse me. Another German view. That looks like one we looked at earlier. I think that's a duplicate, yeah. It says Berg Ruin Frankenstein. So is that Frankenstein's castle there? Interesting. Again, Frankenstein is mentioned on there. So I'm not sure about that. I have to do some research. Here's Hendricks Sanatorium in El Paso, Texas. Thomas Hall, Hidden River Cave, Horse Cave, Kentucky. District Building, Washington, D.C. El Paso County Courthouse, El Paso, Texas. Main lobby of the Hotel Paso del Norte in El Paso, Texas. Great White Way of El Paso at night view there. Here we have a train emerging from the snow sheds on the Ogden route. A little bit of surface wear up there in the corner. Here's the Viscose Company in Meadville, PA. We got a stain over here on the right edge. Otherwise, that would be a decent card, I think. Here's the Armory in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. Fountain of Light, Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is Sunset on the Ohio River from the Point in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And that is a long ago view. This one was posted in 1916, but Pittsburgh actually did used to have that reddish orange glow to it. I remember as a child going into the city to go to a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball game, coming around the bend into where the city becomes visible. It actually did, you could see this orange cloud hanging over everything. It's gone now, but it really did look like that at one time. Here's the First Methodist Episcopal Church here in Greensburg, PA. This church is still standing. Here's a street at Camp Lee, Petersburg, Virginia, military camp. Another military view on a hike at Camp Meade, Maryland. This card looks like somebody rolled it up in a ball at one time. It is horribly creased. Here's a railroad station and boat landing at Kingston Point, New York. Post office and custom house in Cleveland, Ohio. Monongahela River in California, PA. There you can see a steamboat going up the river. Here is the United States Mint in Philadelphia, PA, with some glitter applied there. Lock number 1 on the Monongahela River in Pittsburgh, PA. Here are some gentlemen posing in front of what appears to be the Niagara Falls. So this is a posed view, a studio pose with the fake backdrop. This is a foreign card that says Lisboa. What would that be? Lisbon, Spain, possibly? Not sure. Not in great shape. Here's a nice card. The Pennsylvania Railroad Station here in Greensburg, PA. This station was replaced by a more modern building, and this card is in beautiful condition. This isn't, I wouldn't say a rare card, but you don't see it too often. Here we have the coal fleets ready to go south at Pittsburgh, PA. So you can see the steamboats there and the coal barges. There is glitter on there. Here is the Pennsylvania Railroad shops in Altoona. Again, this card, nice view, but this card has a lot of creases. That's a nice railroad card. Here's a country club in Pittsburgh, PA. Here's another scene here in Greensburg, North Main Street, looking south. There's the courthouse down here. Post office in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No glitter on that one, fortunately. Here's a foreign card. Not sure where that is. Could be, yeah, probably Germany. Another view of that highly sought out Niagara Falls and the Whirlpool Rapids at Niagara Falls. The beautiful Japanese gardens in Florida. Blue Water International Bridge over the St. Clair River, Point Edward near Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Here is a building in Pittsburgh. It doesn't say what the building is, but it's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here's the Betsy Ross House in Philadelphia. That's a fairly common card. City Hall and Plaza in Philadelphia. Ben Franklin's grave in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, not a big seller for me. Here's another back here in Greensburg, my hometown. This is the courthouse top, an upper view of the courthouse. Here we are, a scene near the catacombs on the Union Pacific Railroad. That one's posted 1909. Another view here in Greensburg of the courthouse. We just saw top of the courthouse here. Now in this view you can see more of the courthouse. You can see the whole thing. Here is a view of the Carnegie Library in Huntingdon, PA. Falls of the Ohio River between Jeffersonville and New Albany, Indiana. Here is a view at the 1934 International Expo, the Century of Progress. This is the administration building that was held in Chicago. This is St. Mary's Mission House, Techny, Illinois. Another view in Techny, St. Mary's Mission House, Holy Ghost Church, interior view. Here is the State Hospital in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, home of Phil the Groundhog. This is the First ME Church in California, PA. This is Parsons Cemetery and Division Street in Salisbury, Maryland. This is the Panther Hollow Bridge in Shenley Park, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think the same card appeared in the last album we looked at. Oh, there is Niagara River near Niagara Falls again. Here we have the Fort Steele Bridge in Fort Steele, Wyoming, with a train going across. Nice railroad view there. And last card for this album, Montesano Hospital in Los Angeles, California. Well, thank you for looking at these with me. I hope you enjoyed that. And come back when I go through album number 3. See you next time.